Did you get the backgrounds, Carl, Danielle? They're in the WhatsApp live judges chat, or it is the one slide.
Yes, so then if you just download them onto your computer, you go onto your video on Zoom, then you can choose virtual background, and then you just have to upload the photo. Okay, if it's fine, I'm going to let everyone in.
Let's do this.
Ready? Let's.
Hello, hello, welcome. Welcome, hello. Teams. Welcome, viewers. Welcome, one and all, to the pitch session for the 2022 Winter Hackathon at Sovereign Nature Initiative. Hello, welcome. We're going to kind of crack right into it because we have 22 teams ready to present, eager to share the results of this incredible 48 hours of work. I'll do a little introduction here. Everybody just go ahead and mute yourselves if you're on the Zoom. Looking at you, Mark, and a couple of others, just go ahead and mute yourselves. Although you're very welcome to bring your video on. We'd love to see your faces. And I want to introduce myself briefly. My name is Seth Boakley, and I'm the writer in residence here at Sovereign Nature Initiative, and I'll be kind of emceeing today. In a moment, I'll introduce our panel of judges for this hackathon. I want to just start out by celebrating this incredible collaborative space that has opened up over the last couple of days and acknowledge the amazing work, creativity, collaboration, fusion, cross-pollination, synthesizing that's been going on. It's incredible energy. Can't wait to, we all from Sovereign Nature Initiative just can't wait to hear what you all have come up with. To just remind us of where we started. The prompt for this year's Winter Hackathon was we challenged teams to develop ideas that enable representation of non-human life, establish governance models, and empower ecosystems to act in their own interests and to produce and capture value in their own right. We asked teams to define value broadly and consider, in addition to practical ecological value, other qualities such as beauty and interconnectedness. These ideas should support Sovereign Nature Initiative's broader goal to go beyond common approaches towards sustainability and break the cycle of human domination over nature. So this is a huge challenge, and there are so many approaches that we've been seeing, and this diversity is something we're going to be sort of celebrating and seeing as we go into the pitches. I also wanted to mention, just by way of kind of covering a little bit of business, that you know, we have a bounty at stake here, and just a little bit again about how this process will go. We're going to have, again, 22 teams presenting up to 4 minutes. So this is a little bit of an elevator pitch vibe, and hopefully you will be able to share your screen. We believe we've configured Zoom such that you can all share your screens. But once that begins, we'll sort of have the timer on, and you know, we'll begin, and I'll sort of raise my hand when we get to that 4-minute mark. But we'll kind of move through the teams. We will also post in advance the order of the teams. We've mixed it up a little bit just so everybody knows when they are in the lineup, and we'll be posting that shortly. But again, before I introduce the judges and ask them to just say hello, I want to mention again that there's a bounty at stake here. We're really grateful to have this bounty available to honor the winners of this year's competition. And the winners and the runners-up teams will split funds that include some Kusama, Ocean Coin, popcorn, as well as some fiat currency. And all the participants who have gotten this far in the hackathon and will be presenting today will also receive some tokens in appreciation for your participation in this competition. Please do, if you haven't already, post a Kusama and Ethereum wallet in the tiles in your metaverse space. This is super important so that Alessandra can connect those dots when we get through this and when we name those winners. We also are very pleased to announce that Sovereign Nature Initiative's partners here at Odyssey, the amazing company behind our metaverse, will also be providing 3 750 euro prizes to the most collaborative teams. And they've been zooming around, flying around, swimming around, and just sort of watching the collaboration unfold. And those will also be announced along with the winners on Wednesday. And that's the final thing I want to say before I introduce the judges, is that we will be live again on YouTube and gathering again at 5 p.m. Central European time on Wednesday to announce those winners. We'd love for you to provide at least one member of your team, or maybe everybody, come celebrate, hear the results, and that'll be going live again at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. Okay, without further ado, I want to introduce our judges and ask you to please introduce yourselves. So let's start with Ed Hesse, co-founder of Sovereign Nature Initiative. Ed?
Hello, hey. It's so cool to look at the faces in this chat because I see many people that I've followed, actually. I follow their projects on Twitter, and now really cool to see them all united here. I'm Ed. I'm one of, this Sovereign Nature thing started actually with the blog of Trent, I think 5 years ago, Nature 2.0. And then we thought, it took us a while, to assemble the team to get this off ground, and I'm really happy to see this. I have a couple of hats. I'm founder of Energy Web Foundation, Grid Singularity, and a couple of other projects where I help in the background. I spend 90% of my time with energy. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Let's go to Andrea. Andrea Leiter, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to see you all and to see the pictures. I can't wait. I'm buzzing. And I am another co-founder of SNI, and I spend 90% of my time with research and theory. I am an assistant professor at the University of Amsterdam in International Economic Law. And so, let's show the value rethinking. That's what I'm excited about. Okay.
Thank you. Let's go next to Catherine. Catherine Bischoff, please.
Hi, cool. I'm Catherine. I'm the CEO of this initiative, of Sovereign Nature Initiative. Very proud and lucky to be part of this team of wonderful individuals. On this note, I'd like to thank the team for putting on this incredible hack. It's been such a great experience to float around and see the teams, but also recognize that a lot of work gets put into it. So these great ideas that are being propelled forward this weekend are the result of this team making it all come together. So I'm also thrilled to see what's going to happen now and curious about some new ideas. I heard things have merged and pivoted, so lots of intensity over the last 48 hours that we're going to now experience.
Absolutely. Thanks, Catherine. And Danielle Bennett, hello.
Hi, nice to meet everyone. My name is Danielle. I'm an investor at a VC firm here in Berlin, but also we just opened up an office in New York called Blue Yard. I spend probably 80% of my time looking into the depths of Web3 and 20% of my time looking at sustainable kind of use cases for Web2 technologies. So really excited to kind of see the overlap of both of the places where I spend a lot of my time. Hopefully I can be valuable to some of you either today or well into the future. So really excited to hear your ideas. The other ways that I spend my time is as a DAO contributor. So as things continue to decentralize or not, happy to be a resource if I can be helpful. Nice to meet everyone.
Thank you, Danielle. And let's go to Carl Burkhart, please.
Hi, everybody. It's really cool to be with you. It's an awesome group. and I'm very happy to be networked. Hopefully the network lives on beyond this awesome hackathon. So I was the lead for strategy at the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation for many years, and started and ran the science and technology program there, which eventually evolved into One Earth. And I'm a co-founder of One Earth, which is a philanthropic initiative dedicated to solving climate change. And we're focused across 3 pillars: renewable energy, nature conservation, and regenerative ag. So I was happy to see projects across all 3 of those in this hackathon, which was really cool. Yeah, I'm likewise, I hope we can stay connected after this. And I thought I learned some really interesting things yesterday, and heard some new ideas. So I think this will be an interesting day.
Absolutely. Thanks, Carl. And let's hear this short video from Trent. Here we go.
Hi there. I'm Trent with Ocean Protocol. First, I want to thank you for being part of the hackathon as part of this broader vision of sovereign nature. I wish you all luck. Hopefully you'll be very proud of what you have built and want to take it further. And with that, I hope to see you around at future events. Have a great day. Bye.
Fantastic. We have an incredible panel of judges, and thank you especially to Danielle and Carl, who are sort of new in a sense to our community here, for joining us and being part of this and bringing that really generous offer to stay connected. I hope that spirit of planting seeds of collaboration, of connection, is really the guiding spirit of this whole day, this whole presentation, because each of these projects will continue to inform one another and inspire one another, and we hope that we'll just stay connected as a community moving into the future. Okay, so we're going to move into the pitches now, and I know that there's some conversation about the streaming in the chat, and so I want to just reassure everybody too that we are recording this as well, and so whatever way we can share these pitches with both obviously Trent, our judge, who's not with us live right now, but also others that want to see this in the future, will be made available. I'm excited to get going, and this is the order of the pitches. We have Arc.Anima coming up first with Sattva on deck. I'm going to get my little timer ready. Again, I'll pass it over to you. And once I pass it over to you, go ahead and share your screen. If there's any issues there, we'll troubleshoot that. But we'll get going. And then once we get to that 4-minute mark, I'll just sort of raise my hand and say hello. And let's jump into it. Yeah, anybody else want to add anything before we begin? All right, I see fists pumping and thumbs going up in the air, and that's the kind of enthusiasm I like. Okay, cool. Let's jump in with Arc.Anima. Who will present from Arc.Anima, please?
Yeah, my name is Adin. I'll be presenting. My heart is jumping out of my throat, and it's 2 a.m., so please excuse any fumbling. All right, let's get into it. Share my screen.
Perfect.
We're all ready?
Absolutely.
So I'm Adin. I'm the founder of Arc, and my partner is Rob. Arc believes in a future where digital worlds inherently benefit natural ones. The problem that we tried to solve during this hackathon is that humans are spending a lot of, humans are quite disconnected from nature and ecology at the moment. And the more time that we're spending in digital landscapes, the wider that gap is becoming. It's very clear in the NFT space, especially where there are so many faces of animals, but very, very little representation of true animals in their ecological systems. So the solution is to bring nature into these digital landscapes. NFTs create value through scarcity in closed product ecosystems. So the idea here in the opportunity is to bring nature's scarcity and nature's inherent value into those digital landscapes. Anima is our solution. It's an NFT collection with a supply of 8,000, give or take. We haven't made a final decision yet, but we're representing 280 land mammals with a supply that's based on the real world population. On top of that, we're going to be building an ecosystem that replicates ecology and generates wealth for the people who are using those ecosystems, and also at the same time for the environment. We've got two main target markets, and I'll get to that in a second. The hackathon focus for us was really to hone in, take as much advice as we could from the wide range of advisors and collaborate as much as possible. We built full working models for our product roadmap, for our NFT minting process, for the utility ecosystem that we want to build on top of that, and the partnerships approach so that we can build relationships with projects and charities that are working with these animals on the ground. The first key element of the NFTs are the images you see in front of you. It's very important to us that the animals are represented accurately. And first of all, that is through aesthetics. Secondly, that is through data. First of all, the supply data based on the populations, and also through taxonomic data. So the provenance that we're applying to the NFT, the animals through the NFTs is based around the aesthetics and the taxonomic data, most of all. How am I going with time?
We've got 1 minute left.
Great. Target markets are the ecology warriors, us, and the second target market is the NFT degens who are deep in the space already. So we're building this ecosystem with an ecosystem of rewards, so that the NFT degens will trawl through the taxonomic data that represents the animals and become educated and exposed to those really valuable parts of the environment through the established NFT value systems. Carbon offset tokens will be embedded into the NFTs from minting. And so every time that people engage with the utility and reward ecosystems that we're building, carbon will be offset. We're also building relationships and partnerships with organizations on the ground who are working with those animals. So the next steps for us are to finish the art production, complete the Web3 development, launch the advertising campaigns, and to continue building partnerships with people on the ground. I encourage you to please, yeah, we're at time.
Go ahead.
Check out our links to the repositories where those full working models are there. I encourage anyone in the public and the team to check that out. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Edin and Arc.Anima, and really thank you for going first. We celebrate, we applaud you, we snap for you. I love seeing snaps. Thank you so much. It's inspiring. And I want to, of course, acknowledge that part of this moment, you know, these are the live pitches, but of course, I know you've all kind of uploaded materials as well, and the judge will be able to look at those, follow those links, and see what you've been up to beyond this very unfortunately short a little bit of time that we all have live together. But clearly, so much work has gone into all of these, and I know you've uploaded your repositories and your content already elsewhere. And thank you again for going first. And let's move along. Yeah, let's go along to. We have Sattva up next, and thanks for all the love in the chat also. This enthusiasm is fantastic. We're going to go to Sattva.
Hey everyone, lovely to have you all here today. So we are a team of 7 engineering undergrads from representing team Bangalore Torpedo from Caltech, India. And without further ado, I think we'll jump right to the problem statement. So we have known that from time immemorial, nature has always known how to heal herself. But it's just that we feel that over a period of time, she's sort of lost this right to govern herself. So what we'll be doing is restoring these rights back into her hands, but just that we'll be equipping her with the right technology of this age to make her self-sovereign. And also we'd like to add a small little point here. Throughout this entire pitch, we'd be using a park as an analogy to an entire ecosystem. So, presenting our solution, Sattva. Sattva is a platform that focuses on capturing and harnessing the value that a park generates by automatically converting park images into artworks and further converting them into NFTs, which are sold on various platforms like OpenSea and Ocean Protocol. And the revenue thus generated would be reinvested in the park for its sustainable growth and development. And also for those guys who haven't checked out our YouTube video yet, please do check it out. You can find the link in the Zoom chat box here. It has a really nice story flow of the entire solution. We highly recommend watching it. Okay, so this is a Sattva architecture that we have designed. There'll be 3 image capturing mechanisms. One from social media platforms like Twitter, where images with a specific hashtag Sattva NFT would enter our platforms. Second, from AI cameras installed at various locations in the park. And third, from a direct admin upload, where the park hires professional photographers to upload images directly into the platform. These images will then be passed through a series of DL models, where the approved images will be converted into art and later into NFTs and sold on various platforms. The admins will also have all the details pertaining to the NFTs that are generated and sold. Right. Now we have spoken about the Twitter source workflow, so we'd like to focus on the AI cameras part of it. Now we have an automated camera that generates time-lapse videos and GIFs of special events that occurs in park, like flower blossoming or cocoon hatching or migratory bird tracing species of migratory birds. These are special events that would trigger an alarm off in our AI camera, and we would be treating these kind of images in a special manner. And this would also help us generate a unique NFT. It's different from the images that we receive from social media platforms. We actually have a working prototype of this AI camera. You can see the results of its working attached here. Moving on, Sattva focuses on protection of privacy of its park visitors. So any image that carries a potential risk of infringement of privacy of the park visitors are removed from the platform and are not processed for further use. And also we have employed an art generator that we have employed a style GAN model that powers the creativity of our art generator. And yeah, and I'd like Prakhar to take it forward from here.
Thank you, Pavitra. So now coming on to our partner platforms, can you change the slide, please? So we have used Polygon to deploy the NFTs on the OpenSea platform, and also planning to partner with Ocean Protocol to make our metadata available public. So the revenue generated by selling these NFTs can be directly employed in development and maintenance of the park. The park will have the full control over the money as to when and where it should be used. But what's the point in generating these NFTs if we are not able to sell them? I mean, the NFTs should be tempting enough for a person to own, right? So we are planning on to provide several privileges to the NFT owners. We'll be discussing this in the future prospects. Next slide,
we're at time. Just if you could wrap it up, that would be great.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
So recently, Twitter came up with a new feature where it recognizes the genuine NFTs as a part of your profile picture. So this in turn gives us a bragging right that we have been part of such a good cause and helping this particular community in developing. Also, we had a discussion with the Momentinauts team regarding creating a Sattva ecosystem in their metaverse. I mean, they were really impressed with this idea. So the NFTs can be used as digital tickets for the various virtual events, which we can host in that particular metaverse, like some sessions and concerts. Bringing the main idea is bringing like-minded people together to create the Sattva ecosystem where people owning these NFTs will hold certain privileges.
Great. Thank you. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I want to be fair to the other teams. We're almost a minute over now, so I'm going to have to stop you there. It's a thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Sattva. We are going to move. We have 22 teams today, 4 minutes each. It's short, I know. These are amazing pitches, amazing proposals, so much more to review that we have in your repositories. And thank you again, Sattva. Great pitch. Thank you so much, both of you, for presenting. We are going to move along to Space for Good. Space for Good is up next.
Hey, it's Alex speaking here, the founder of Space for Good, the B Corp developing monitoring, reporting, and verification solutions for nature-based solutions. But yeah, in this hackathon, we've been working on Green Sail, which is a pirate game which improves our planet one bounty at a time. In order to help our environment, we need to understand it. And to understand it, we need data, actually a lot of the data, in situ, reliable, on-the-ground data. The Gövel, but also a lot of other research, knowledge institutions, NGOs, and tech companies are facing the same issue. Usually, the data is not available at the locations where we actually want it, or the margins are too low to engage with specialist surveying firms. So let's change it by making it fun, engaging, and informative, by gamification and crowdsourcing, and not just any crowd, the pirate crowd. We used the last 48 hours to come up with a pirate game which allows participating pirates to add value rather than extracting it. We appeal to their natural drive of conquest and bounty. Pirates are being onboarded into a virtual world in which they start with an outfit, a ship, and an island. The goal of the game is to level up and gain doubloons and trophies by completing missions. These missions are being created both by people-led organizations as well as nature itself. People-led organizations can post challenges as the one of the Gövel, surrounding the topic of soil data collection or air quality measurements. Nature is posting challenges as well. Using satellite Earth observation, Space for Good developed several change detection algorithms which can trigger automatic challenges, for example, after wildfire, flooding events, or deforestation. We translate these missions into currently 3 different mission types: Explore, Conquer, and Set Bounty. Mission 1, Explore. Ask you to make physical measurements using your smartphone and available tooling such as measurement tape. Explore missions could take you to make a picture, measure the diameter of a tree, or verify existing objects. Mission 2, Conquer, engages you in small mini games, which you can play from the comfort of your couch. One example is to detect and select palm trees as an image, which is an important labeling step for machine learning. By having many players play the same scenario, we ensure high reliability. Mission 3, Bounty, allows players to report environmental irregularities, such as trash or illegal logging activities. These reports can become new missions for more experienced players for verification and so on. The respective doubloons are connected to the effort of the task itself as well as the experience level. Furthermore, you will receive thematic trophies according to the mission. For example, a hedgehog for the Gövel for biodiversity measurements, or a tree for accessible tree species identification. Let me show you a video of the game. I think it's a bit too small. Let me just skip forward. You can see it on our team space. Actually, it shows you all the different skins. You can select a mission here in particular, where you would have to go to the Gövel in order to measure a tree, which is required with regards to biomass assessments, where you have to type in the height, the diameter, and also the crown information around the tree itself. Let me tell you before finishing this presentation about the value dynamic. So as mentioned, the quest can either come from nature itself or a location quest, which is being processed through the Green Sail applications. The data which is then collected, being processed, but also being labeled, we basically want to also make available on ocean data platforms so other organizations can benefit of this data. We've been flying around the metaverse and meeting with actually all of the teams who are reading their boards, and we created 12 different use cases on how participating teams would actually also be benefiting from data collection, whether it's from acoustics being recorded with your smartphones, taking pictures, or taking measurements. The collected data, of course, will also come back to the actual location quest holder. Around the token economy, what we've done, we created our own DAO. So it's not only in-game coin systems, but we're actually offering it to other users, which in exchange would offer tokens and NFTs going back into our green sales treasury, creating doublons for all participating players. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much to Space for Good. We are going to move swiftly along in a moment to a wildlife. I want to just interject briefly to say that the Koivu organization and the location that was mentioned in that last pitch is another major point of inspiration for those of you who may be tuning in and are not familiar with that space. They're a partner for us for our upcoming spring experimental zone, where we hope to showcase some of these solutions in this reclaimed industrial shipyard in Amsterdam, and many of the teams have taken inspiration from both the spirit of the Koivu as a reclaimed architectural and ecological space, but also even from some of the actual data for the phytoremediation and other environmental cleanup efforts that are happening there. So that's a point of inspiration for some, but not all of the pitches that you're hearing today. We're going to move along to a wildlife. I think I saw in the chat maybe there's a challenge sharing. Is that right, Oliver? Oliver, are you here? If we're having technical difficulties, we can also come back to you guys, no problem.
Yeah, I think he rejoined, or he's trying to rejoin.
Okay. Give it another few seconds. I wanted to tell a story about being in a pirate a cappella group as an undergraduate, which I refrained from. That's the kind of self-restraint you'll get from this MC today when I was hearing that last pitch. I'm sorry, Patrick. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. I was young. I was wearing a pirate bandana. If we don't hear from wildlife in a moment, let's go to data union, and we can come back to a wildlife with no problem, no stress here. Okay, let's go to data union.
Hi, yeah.
Thank
So
you.
that's me. I'm Robin. I'm the CEO and the CTO of Data Union, and we took this weekend to develop Nature Union. So that's basically on top of our protocol that we're developing around powering the collaboration for AI. Around data. And yeah, Nature Union is about empowering nature and communities to own their data and also the value that is created from it. So we are a layer 2 solution on top of Ocean Protocol. And yeah, one important aspect that we see is that local communities, they are already tending for nature, but there's no data layer that they can benefit from. So like we are introducing the new concept that they can earn data shares and benefits from recording actually what they're doing. So the Koivu or our partner here in Malawi, which are taking care of trees. Additionally, we had just seen the game from Space for Good. And we also want to empower this to give them the opportunity to take the data that they're producing, or also like requests for data and turn and offer this to games, and then give people the opportunity to reconnect to nature through these games. And then after all of this happens, the data is then sold on Ocean Protocol, and insights can be created also, and they also create value. And then tokens are coming back to nature's wallet. So we want to introduce a wallet for nature, and basically also for the individual elements of nature. So a tree can then use its tokens for water, love, and protection. And nature can also then start conquering back itself by the data that it basically produces on its own. So we're bringing together people and data and insights to sustain nature and communities. So on the left side, we have people and trees, or the nature itself, that have wallets and identities and that connect to the system. So that they're going to provide data. The data is then collected in a data union, and data scientists and also impact certificate buyers can then use the data to create value. So the data scientists can use Ocean Protocol's computer data technology to visit the data, to learn from it without ever risking that it's going to be copied and taken out. And the proof over time over the different ecological systems can then be used to create carbon offset certificates. In the middle, there's the Nature Union DAO. So that's a community of all the participants that then is taking care that the value flow is governed, that things are extended in the correct way, and that the value can flow back to the people who've come contributing, or also the nature itself. So if we look a little bit deeper into the details, so the contribution and the receive part, we offer APIs to register data sources, to then also take out the data and enhance it, or to let something flow back from mobile apps and games, but also to be able to claim the rewards. In our mobile app, we have the opportunity to link devices, so like the Curvil air quality sensor, or from our partner in Malawi, they are having drones, so like their data can also be connected. We also went through the hackathon and connected with several teams, which also are producing data and would like to start getting value back for it. Then in the app, you also have an impact screen where you can see how much this data was used, how much value it has created, and where you're standing right now. You also have a Figma flow where you can experience this. The second important component that we built is like an insight dashboard. So basically here, then all of the data that is collected all around the world is aggregated into one large data set. And then data scientists or researchers can start looking into this data. Also, commercial entities could be using that and buy it. So here you can filter for different data types, for different regions, and specifically look for the data that you need to make a difference. And this is all done as a marketplace on top of Ocean Protocol, with our personal twist being the data portal to look into individual data sets and filter for that. So what we're offering then here on the marketplace are then trained insights. So if you want to, for example, then determine the carbon offset that you created, you can then use a ready available algorithm for that, or then also to issue carbon impact certificates, and also use this for project reporting and research. We especially work with YOMA, a UNICEF organization, which is working with young people from Africa to connect them to impact projects to make a living out of that. So yeah, that's our project. And yeah, we met so many new people, data collaborators, contributors in the hackathon. We're looking to continue to work with all of them in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Data Union. Very nice. We're gonna see if we can connect with A Wildlife. We're there. We're there. Go ahead, A Wildlife, Oliver.
All right, perfect. Can you hear me and can you see me? Sorry again for that.
Got you. Yeah, you're perfect.
Awesome. Cool. Hello, guys. This is Maria and Oliver from Wildlife. So we identified two problems. The first one, especially in the West, we get wealthier, but not necessarily happier. Corona obviously didn't really help in that regard. To share with you one really fascinating statistic is that 75% of people that are 25 to 33 experience a quarter-life crisis. And that's quite devastating actually to hear. And when I saw the statistic, I actually identified myself with it because I had this kind of a couple of years ago. And so I was looking for solutions, but couldn't really find something in the market that was solving my pain point. The second problem that I think that's why we are all here, nature is currently destructed on quite a large scale. And we see that with wildlife population plummeting by 68% in the last 50 years. There's a couple of reasons that we want to point out there, but I will leave you that to the next time. Sorry, no, it's not. Okay, solution. So what do we propose to do about this? We think that especially working on oneself is really an intimate experience. So we came up with a life coach app in which wildlife are actually the mentors that will help you to invest in yourself in a healthy, but also in an actionable way, because nothing is more important than to actually take the theoretical components of all the problems that we see, but then really put them into action. Second, to live more present. We all have really hectic lives. This hackathon is a really good example of this. So sometimes it's good to have a mindful experience like we had, I think it was on Friday. And third, we want to automatically have a positive impact on nature. So people they're too busy to, let's say, donate and to do extra things. So we wanted to make it as easy as possible and incorporate nature into our business model so that they have a positive impact. So how is our business model looking like? So the idea is that users pay on a monthly basis €9 to subscribe to this. Now you're going to say, Ollie, are you crazy? €9 for an app? But I wanted to give you an example of Starbucks. Starbucks selling like this kind of coffee grande, latte, macchiatos for almost like €9 everywhere in the world. And do they deliver the same happiness as probably working on oneself and reflecting? Probably not. And there's also other possibilities of creating additional revenues through NFT sales, referral content, and so on. To get to the second step, so there's the user on the platform, then we have the wildlife coaches, and they get paid by actually delivering that service, by teaching you something that you didn't know. And 1/3 of the turnover go to those ones, to the nature itself. Thanks to credentials, thanks again for Paul for bringing me up to speed with credentials. And the idea is that through those credentials, they preserve and restore nature. And then the last step, which is a really important one, this provides the insights of the impact that we have on nature, which hopefully inspires users to take more action for nature, and will hopefully also motivate others to join us, which again feeds again into our user base. Last but not least, the NSI focus. So we have a user, and there's two ways how to basically use the app. So first, they can scan it in kind of off locations like the Sorel, I hope I pronounced that right. They can scan a QR code and they can actually get a live lesson from this animal that they're currently seeing around. The second way how they can come to our app is by identifying a problem, for example, about adapting to change or self-confidence problem and so on. And AI will then match you with exactly the training that you need. If you complete this training, you will basically get this credential that creates further value and has an impact on your user and nature. We collaborated with a few of the teams that you can see here to hopefully elevate the experience, and this is our prototype. Thank you again.
Great, thank you, Oliver, so much, and also thank you for like wrapping up when I raised my hand. I'm trying to give everyone a little bit of a leeway on the end here, a little bit of a grace period to wind down, but you like you hit the 4 minutes perfectly, and thank you for that storytelling and that presentation. Very much a wildlife. Okay, we're going to move to the Momentinauts, and then we have IBMED on deck. Momentinauts, take it away.
Can you guys hear me?
We got you.
Yes, all right. And then let me share the presentation. Oh, no, start the presentation. Come on. There we go. All right, so yeah, we are Momentinauts, and we're also the people who helped to create this world that the hackathon is taking part in. So, you know, as you know, we've all begun to lose our touch with nature, and due to a large number of factors, we're also losing our ability to reconnect with nature. So to remedy this, we here at Momentinauts and Odyssey are we feel we're in a unique position to tackle this problem. We are building and exploring the concept, or we started building and exploring the concept this weekend of physical and digital interactions in the metaverse and real world spaces, and discovering new narratives of interaction for the natural world by bridging and connecting nature into the metaverse. So what we've been building this weekend is a network of sensors that enable us to connect to nature, to connect nature to the metaverse. We call this network of sensors Dandelion, and the data that Dandelion feeds into the metaverse is currently visualized as a tree, because we have it hooked up to a tree, but the sensors could be connected to any type of plant. Currently, we're collecting data on temperature, humidity, and capacitance of the tree, but there's plans to expand this data feed to include like air quality, soil humidity, light, sound. And these sensors all talk to a central endpoint, and that endpoint can serve this environmental data to anyone who wants to access it. By working with parties such as Ocean Protocol and Kilt, we can reward phygital action that benefit both the users through POAPs and NFTs and revenues, but also by empowering, but also nature by empowering people to take affirmative action in their natural ecosystem. We've got a little video demonstration here where, so you can see here on the right, the tree being visualized, and on the left, what's happening in the real world. So it's being filmed, and yeah, we accidentally dropped the sensor onto the soil. And as a result, you see the tree really expand largely, but it starts to regulate again as we bring it back inside. So that's the tree responding live to the data. And here you can see on the left, the real tree. And on the right, we've got a series of, yeah, because we only had one sensor for the weekend, we simulated a bunch of data. So on the right, you can see the other trees reacting to simulated data. So you can see what it would look like as we create a forest. And let's see. So as you've seen, we have a 100% working prototype. And as you guys know, we're Odyssey and we're pioneers in the metaverse. So we have experience in turning concepts from physical into the metaverse. Our solution empowers eco-activists, people who love nature and gardening, and other naturalists to engage digitally with their passions and to quantify their actions. It enables people interested in Web 3.0, metaverses, and NFTs to interact with nature on a meaningful level while generating value for nature and themselves. Furthermore, city dwellers and people living in deeply urban environments are able to visit biomes of areas that they would not normally have access to by visiting it in the metaverse. The use cases of this project are really wide in the sense that we can enable people to explore biomes, learn about plants, maintain ecosystems, reward human and natural interactions. But furthermore, it enables us to expand and enrich the metaverse to create a more vibrant digital world and to connect digital experiences to real world places. It's our vision, or we hope to import the first 1,000 trees into the SNI's metaverse by 2022. And as you can see here, this is our sort of our ecosystem partners. So we hope to work with Kilt and Ocean and Unique. We're already working with Lumos on the sensors and Hyphal Network. And as you know, we're Ocean. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. Momentinauts. Snaps, applause, enthusiasm. Yes, I'm feeling it. We're going to move to IBMED, and then we have Biocenosis up after that. So thank you. And Biomed, take it away. I'm IBMED, sorry. Go ahead.
Hi. Thanks first to SNI, its partner, and each of you for the amazing hackathon we had. I'm Marine, and with my teammate Colleen, we would like to especially thank Argo, the Curvel, Open Data Map Amsterdam, Acoustic Garden, and Wildlife for their partnership and support in this hackathon. So let's discover together Rebirth, the regenerative governance for rebirth. Our challenge was to reintroduce non-human life in urban governance. The starting idea was EntDAO symbiosis, a process in which a symbiont humans deals with the body of its symbiotic partner, nature. It provides holistic approach to nature-human relationship. Therefore, Rebirth is a project that supports governance and related decision-making process and award process. Our solution is based on a framework that combines biomimicry, law of nature, and related biological strategy, the sustainable development goals of the United Nations to provide a common international basis for discussion and understanding, and address a holistic view of urban governance of neighborhoods such as the Curvel, which puts nature to the fore. Through the analysis of metrics, rigorous issue scoring and badges on the level of benefits of action undertaken in favor of nature. This scoring is retrieved by rigorous decision tool to help your decision-making and draw your attention to positive and negative externalities of your decision on nature. Colleen, can we move to the next slide, please? Thanks. Rigorous, in the interest and let's say as a continuous improvement, provides you with tips and examples to improve your score and obtain additional badges and continue your nature stewardship experience. move to the next slide. So from rebirth to rebirth, let's rebuild together a caring and attentive relationship with nature.
Right, thank you so much. Thank you. And I know the judges will look forward to following through with some of those links as well and some of those details in your slides. Fantastic detail there. Thank you again. We're going to go next to Biocenosis with the Greeny Cycle TreeDAO combo coming after that. But let's go ahead to Biocenosis, please. Take it away.
Right, there we go. I was muted.
Okay.
You guys can hear me?
Yes, we got you now, Chris. Yes.
All right, sweet. Thanks. So yeah, biocenosis denotes the relationship that an ecology has within itself. And we're a team of 3 artists. We've come together for the first time, inspired by this SNI hackathon. And we were investigating particularly flipping the roles of nature telling us what to do. But we realized that short of arbitrary performative metrics, we couldn't answer the question of what nature wanted us to do without first investigating greater listening. And that brought up the question of what to listen for. And the light bulb moment was really when de Quevel mentioned in the brief that it was only after they restored the land that the birds came back. So we've chosen sound as what we think is one of the most important high-level indicators of ecosystem health. We think it's particularly good because it's invisible, but it can also be directly experienced if we stop to listen to it. And it's also cheap and accessible because we all carry sound recording devices in our pockets, whereas if you want to take soil samples, for example, especially if they're for carbon credits, you usually have to send them off to a third-party lab in order to get verified. It's difficult to do on an ongoing basis at scale. So hence choosing sound. Sound in its relationship to sovereignty is also something we found very interesting because sound has overlapping borders and boundaries representing this interdependent togetherness, a respectful togetherness. It's not a sovereignty of our excluded nations. It's the participation that we all have together. So what did we proceed to build in the realm of acoustic ecology? So we focused on to value and represent this acoustic sovereignty, we designed and prototyped 2 sides of an open ecosystem of acoustic data apps. So the experiential side, the human side, fosters a direct, almost meditative encounter with the outside world. So you play as an acoustic guardian, and the app takes you outside to record a moment where there's more likely to be ecological sound than there is industrial sound. So you take your smartphone, you go outside to your local park or bush, and you record 1 minute of bird activity. The machine learning algorithm detects whether it's a good recording, make sure there's no human speaking in it, make sure there's not too much industrial noise in it, and then it gets uploaded to the data ecosystem. Now you have complete data ownership. All of these recordings are minted as NFTs for you to have guaranteed ownership of them. And in addition to it fostering a direct sense of place, we create a generative representation of the spirit of the place. This generative representation, maybe I've got a better image to show you here at the end. So it's just a sneak preview, but I'll go back to here for now. So we represent the spirit of a place, the collective genius loci, figuratively as computer-generated imagery and computer-generated sound. So this kind of personifies the sonic sovereignty into a more perceivable representation. The spirit of the place, these little figurines you can see in this mock-up, evolve as a result of your acoustic contributions. And you go down on record as recording contribution to the spirit of the place. And then on the data side, we have all of your recordings are contributed to Marketplace, where they can be licensed for artistic uses and also scientific uses. I'll just go quickly down onto how nature benefits. I see a hand up. So nature benefits most from the Guardians actually listening to her on a personal level. We leave out any explicit hard-coded tokenomic implementations and focus on creating the digital acoustic ecosystem. We believe that once we have like a fun collective sensing and a generative digital spirit with data ownership and economic reward of Web3, then we are bound economically to rewild and preserve the ecological space. First, focusing on the sensing. So that's.
Thank you.
Wow, those 4 minutes went fast. Thank you.
They go very fast. Thank you. I appreciate everybody's effort to stay within our time. It's really challenging. These ideas are so big, and your slides are so rich, and the ideas are incredibly complex. And so, thank you for your effort, everybody, for your effort to convey that in those 4 minutes. And also, thanks for all the love in the chat. It's wonderful to see all the enthusiasm for all of these ideas. And I'm sorry I have to be the one raising my hand, but that's my job. Okay, Greeny Cycle and TreeDAO have combined forces, and we're going to hear from them next.
Okay, you going first, Tim?
Yes.
All right, Simon, thank you. Hello, good day, everyone. My name is SNI, and our work, I'd like to let you know, is a collaboration between Greeny Cycle and TreeDAO, a fantastic collaboration. And the problem we are addressing is air quality monitoring data from air quality sensors in small cities are subject to human interference, and data in the cloud from air quality sensors can be tampered with by humans because they are not immutable. Right, next slide, please. Next slide, please. The solution to this problem of human interference with air quality monitoring is a blockchain-enabled air quality management system, which aims to eliminate human interference in the collection, processing, and storage of air quality data, and it's giving sovereignty to nature in the monitoring of air quality. We use Chainlink to automate the process of retrieving air quality data and making this available as a real-time metric available to other smart contracts. For example, a contract can be built that releases funds to a community in exchange for improved air quality. And benefactors could tie the release of grants to improve air quality to encourage the transition from polluting fuel sources. In addition to real-time air quality data being available to smart contracts, our solution also emits EVM events, which are immutable log of data. In this way, off-chain apps and consumers can be sure of the accuracy and veracity of the log data. All right, I'll hand over now to Simon.
Hi. So we got this working. It was a couple of challenges that we managed to overcome. I'm using the Chainlink protocol here. So if you see on screen the first arrow, we actually go and grab the data directly from the API. And the second line below that was the incredibly tortuous JSON path to pull out this particular piece of data and turn it into an integer. The third arrow down, we notarize the data. So we actually have the smart contract emit this as a log message so it can be provable in the future, so you can tell that it hasn't been hacked or tampered with. And the last function is get Decoval air quality, which is sort of makes the current value available, as like I said, so we can use it as a input to other smart contracts that might sort of release funding if the air quality improves. We've put up our links for this. It's deployed on the Coven testnet at this address, and the source code for the Oracle contract is on GitHub if anybody wants to grab it and work on it. It's live, it's working. You can actually see it like going out and making requests. We didn't get around to using the Chainlink upkeep system, so it would actually poll the smart contract. So we actually have to kick off the process of telling the smart contract to go and get its data. But if we were going to keep working on this, it would just be a quick extra step to make Chainlink automate this process forever. So yeah, that's it, and that's done. And now I want to use my last 41 seconds to talk about the other project, which is my little project, the TreeDAO. We bought a forest in a place called Tisbury for 100 ETH back in March. And the output of this hackathon weekend is Genevieve and I are making a little documentary about the TreeDAO. It was a really interesting chat. We recorded it, and I'm now going to turn it into a little movie that tries to answer the questions that everybody comes up with over and over again, so that people who want to do a project similar to the TreeDAO are able to get all their questions answered in one place, and that is 4 minutes on the dot.
We appreciate it. We salute the timeliness and celebrate the presentation with snaps and applause. Thank you so much for that that combined presentation. Love to see that collaboration, cross-pollination, and meeting of minds in this hackathon. That's what we're here to do, very much so. To be a crossroads for folks like yourselves to find one another. We're going to move to Mpowa. Go ahead and take it away, please. If someone's speaking, you may be muted.
My apologies. Start again. Welcome, everybody, and thanks to the organizers of the Sovereign Nature Initiative Hackathon, judges, panelists, and collaborators. It's been an awesome weekend. Mpowa believes in a world without energy and water scarcity, a world where human beings live in harmony with their natural ecosystems, empowered by amazing, disruptive, clean technology solutions, and empowered by the benefits of new business models arising from blockchain and tokenomics. We're very excited to participate in the Sovereign Nature Initiative Hackathon because it aligns with so many of our goals as an organization. In the last 2 years, we've been on a sort of odyssey of our own, developing an ecosystem of projects, technologies, partners on the ground, primarily in Africa, where we come across the major problem of vulnerable communities not really having an incentive, or the means to maintain their local ecosystems, due to poverty and exclusion. Obviously, this is contributing a lot to a larger problem of climate change and ecosystem degradation. Our special focus has been on South Africa in the last year, where we have a number of initiatives already on the ground. So yeah, for the Sovereign Nation Initiative, we really specifically focused in on ecosystem, degradation, and finding solutions specifically tailored towards the Sovereign Nation Initiative goals. In the background, we've been developing our own application platform called the Decarbonizer, which is a two-sided marketplace for bringing together token investors and beneficiaries and project partners in these communities with a way to provide traceability, for use of funds. What did we do for the hackathon specifically? We kind of took our platform design, we pivoted slightly to focus on regenerate to earn tokenomics, implementing a kind of custom NFT builder tool, which would enable our platform users to connect demand in terms of SDG requirements of these communities, where they're lacking, say, energy, water, medicines, or tools and mechanisms for working on their local ecosystem. Maybe they need tree saplings or equipment. To the NFT donors on the other side of the marketplace, matching supply and demand, and then tokenizing that through the DAO. Our blockchain has been implemented on parity substrate, and as you can see, it's in our code base online. Our call to action is simple. We're planning to launch a decentralized autonomous organization. We're quite a long way along with this in terms of the tokenomics, business plans, and partners. Really looking now for advisors, investors, additional technical and legal support to get us to the next mile and launch our tokens. For everyone's interest, I've included a couple of the pilot projects mentioned. One in particular, I think, of interest to this community is the regenerative agriculture, which is a community-led project where we aim to use hydrogen energy and other water from air technology to really fundamentally transform those communities and bring them, more in harmony with the local ecosystems. I will stop there well within the 4 minutes.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. 3 minutes, 50 seconds, but who's counting? Thank you so much, Mpowa. Wonderful. Let's move right into Hyphal Network, and then we'll have OpenForest on deck.
Hello there, everyone. I hope you can hear me well. Thank you for the opportunity to be here collaborating and showing our network. I'm Joanna, by the way, and along with Tommy and Danya, we're Hyphal, a network for deeper connection. The problems that we're tackling is, well, we're here all connected and through the network and through this, to the internet, we are able to be here collaborating from all around the world. But information, natural elements such as soil quality, it's scattered and adrift. Sometimes it only used for short-term, either domestic or private purposes. The second problem is the unavailability of integrated data in a worldwide scale that would give us the lack of understanding how our impact and how the world can benefit from having this data open and all sharing it. That's how we came up with Hyphal. That's our solution. Tackling all the problems in the order, we ease the access and also ledger by having this data on nature, on natural resources on the chain. And in a collaborative manner, we want to create and instigate to spark, let's say, a worldwide community. That is our goal, to have this extensive map and making this data available and open. We can then understand just not our impacts on our land and our soil and our rivers, but how it ripples down to around the world. Initially, we were thinking about presenting our idea more from the perspective of soil sampling. We have been talking a lot about soil sampling, but in a land, there's an ecosystem. There are trees, there's wildlife, there's the air, the lakes, the streams, the plants, and that's our goal, to bring all this together and to put all this data in an open platform. I'll now open for Danielle to explain a little bit of how our Hyphal will work, and then after we'll say our thank yous.
Yeah, I'll try to be quick. On a technical level, we think it's very important that this data is being maintained for really long periods of time and through time series. So that maybe 100 years from now, because the phytoremediation at least takes 70 years, right? Is still available. And what better way to do that than blockchain? So we want to put our data on chain in smart contracts. However, we don't want to start yet another NFT project because there are a lot of high quality NFT projects out there. So we build smart contracts that can be used by any NFT project and augment that NFT project by adding soil sample data or other natural element samples, the quality of or the health of the land, so to say, to these NFTs and tokenization of nature. In that way, we hope to add benefit to other projects. Our smart contracts are open source, are on GitHub, just deploy them, and free to use.
So the collaborative manner, the approach on which Hyphal is created, it ripples down to its design, but also to its code. We'd like to thank not just our collaborations with other projects such as Data Union, Recheck, Sustayn.Earth, Space for Good, and Momentinauts. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But also for the brainstorming and for the inspiration from other people from SNI and team. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much, Hyphal Network. And thank you, Carl, for that wonderful note in the chat there. Hypha is a tendril of underground mycelium. Beautiful. And we're going to move to next to OpenForest, but just before we do, I want to acknowledge we're halfway through. So thank you for your sustained attention. And we're going to give just as much enthusiasm for those going in the second half as we did in the first. And thank you all for being with us on this epic journey today. We're going to move now to OpenForest.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Please let me know if you can't hear me right now. But yeah, my name is Luke Schubert, and I'm here to talk with you about the OpenForest protocol and how we are building a platform for representing forest value. So when we think about representing forest value, we started to identify some of the big problems that prevent that from occurring. One of the main ones that we saw was the problems arising with the measurement, reporting, and verification practices that currently exist today. And we see this current system as having a few composite problems. So primarily, these current MRV systems and tools are generally not very accessible or transparent for people who own forests who may want to show what's happening underneath the forest and represent in an independent and verified manner what's happening within their land area. Additionally, we've also seen that small and medium landholders tend to struggle to demonstrate the value of their natural environments, in part because they don't have good accessible or transparent MRV tools, but also there's just not very many economic systems in place to help reward them and value their land in a way that's beyond the traditional means of monetizing forests, like with timber industry or cutting it down for agricultural purposes. And additionally, looking at this current system within the software system and the current software solutions that exist, we've noticed that the more traditional Web 2 type software platforms tend to innovate more slowly. They're not able to bring on as diverse and as creative of a crowd as some open source Web3 platforms are able to do. So thinking about all of these things, we started to conceptualize what the solution would be. And we think the solution is best to be built as a decentralized blockchain-based platform that enables the communal verification and reporting of forest data at scale. So we can break that down a little bit, but as we started to think about this, we would think that it would consist of three main parts. So one would be a mobile app used by people on the ground to record data happening from within their forests. It would also have dashboards where these are web applications where users would access to manage their forest projects, as well as validate and verify this information. And then we'd also be built on top of a blockchain-based smart contract network. So this data would be permanently stored through this network. And then it would also enable the tokenization of various assets to help generate value and potentially revenue for these forest projects. So as we started to think about how this would work, it would start out with forest projects minting an NFT on our platform. And this NFT would represent their land area, not so much a JPEG with an image attached, but more of a utility NFT that updates over time as they, looking towards step 2, upload data from the field app. And then at step 3, we have these diverse groups of what we call validators. Really, they're independent verifiers that are looking at this information and evaluating the legitimacy of it as it reflects the truth on the ground. So all of these tools are sort of being integrated into this platform, fed into the validators. The validators are able to take a look at that and using their unique expertise and resources available to them, make a judgment about that. All of this information then is then stored within the metadata of that forest project's NFT and stored permanently on a blockchain for everybody to see. Additionally, on top of that, and as a result of that, forest projects would gain an unprecedented degree of transparency and trust in what's happening on their ground and allow them to financialize their projects and make money and avoid deforestation and other things that contribute to climate change. So looking forward, because this is a whole blockchain interoperable system, you could see this impacting a lot of things, right? This could very easily be managed by a DAO interface. There's lots of really fantastic DAO programs that are coming out now to help manage Web3 software platforms. And again, the tokenization of ecosystem benefits could really benefit forest projects. So yeah, there's our GitHub with any links for resources, but yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, OpenForest. Fantastic. And we are going to move now, and you can check the chat for the remaining lineup. Yes, applause, applause. We're going to move to ForestStart.io with Recheck on deck next after that. Go, take it away, ForestStart.io.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Tony and we are here with Marlene from Peru and Germany, and we are Team Foresters. We have partnered with the Ashaninka community in Peru. They have made available to us 27 hectares of Amazonas rainforest to develop a project to preserve the forest, 27,000 hectares. The idea is, of course, to preserve the forest using blockchain, but also to dignify the value of the forest and dignify the life it contains, plants, animals, and also the people who have lived in harmony with nature for thousands of years. How are we going to do this? Of course, using NFTs, allowing investors to support not only preservation of the forest, but also the projects of the Peruvian tribe in the Amazonas and being a part of the community. The NFTs are connected actually to real forests, and the claim is that they stay unaffected. Therefore, we have to think about how to monitor the forest. One obvious idea is the satellite pictures, but also we have thought about sensor data to, like other projects here who already have done this and they have done well. But you know, the main idea of the blockchain and the main pro is that you can store data like hash and time-step updates on the blockchain to make this transparent and in the base case, somewhat decentralized process. But of course, working with the people is still the most important part because they are the ones who know the best way to preserve nature, to live with nature, and to dignify nature. That is what sets us apart from other projects. We are not buying forests to preserve it. The forest is already there, waiting to be preserved. We want to dignify it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Tony. One of the key questions we got during this hackathon was how we can generate a long-term value for the community. And as there are many amazing NFT projects, you need to have some sort of uniqueness, and you really have to build a strong community and give the NFT buyers a sense of belonging to a group. So these are some of the ideas to do this. For example, by logging in our website with a browser wallet, there could be a map where the area of the NFT is displayed, or an CO2 counter. We also thought about camera or audio transmission of the actual forest, maybe in combination with some sort of VR, so people can make a sensory journey and really get a feeling for the forest. And all this should then ensure that it's not like a one-time donation, but rather a sponsorship and community membership. For the hackathon, we minted some test NFTs on Polygon, which are AI generated and inspired by local Peruvian art and the landscape. One NFT represents 0.1 hectare rainforest and is priced €100. This should preserve this piece of rainforest for at least 10 years. And we want to make yearly series to make this a more constant project. Of course, in the NFTs, also the metadata, such as the coordinates, is stored. Yeah, I'm more than happy about feedback on collaboration. Thanks a lot to the organizers and the other amazing teams.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony and Marlena. Forest art, yes. You're seeing a lot of snaps and a lot of enthusiasm in the chat. Thank you very much. We're going to move now to Recheck with Centree coming up after that. Recheck, please take it away.
Hi everyone, it is Emilian NF here, and I'm the team captain of Recheck. Please give me a signal if you don't hear me or if there's an issue with the sharing. So a lot of people say that air pollution is killing us, slowly but surely. But definitely one of the biggest problems are these fine particles. And they cause a lot of health issues, and they are reason for increased risk of many diseases. These fine particles, they cause environmental damage, and of course it's about the inconvenience. So the question is, what is the relation to the sovereign nature? But our team believes that the fine particles in the context of air pollution are a very strong example of human domination over nature. And we believe that we are living in these concrete jungles, and we forget about sovereign nature objects, and we forget about planting trees. So the solution that we propose is Recheck Air, and that is a Web3 platform to incentivize urban rewilding and to improve air quality. If the problem with air pollution is very much location specific and location based, we believe that we can incentivize people to plant trees, and these trees actually are our heroes because they can reduce the concentration of fine particles by up to 60%. And there are a few conditions, actually. First, you need to plant the trees at the right locations. You need the right trees, and this should be organized in the right way. So our platform works in a way that first we start with the stakeholders. These are the residents and the municipality. So they set some targets about how the air quality should be improved, and they work certain value in a smart contract. Then the contributors and the land trusts, they implement rewilding in selected areas of the city. For example, they can plant trees, they can do this greening of the zones, everything that happened at the QVO. And here, pay attention, we provide also the sensor infrastructure, and these sensors are the senses of the nature. So they start to generate data, and they start to turn this data into value, because information is being structured, is being displayed on the dashboards, and the residents and the municipality can see what is the actual air quality performance, and they can see if these targets are met. And if you have a streak, for example, if you have 2 weeks in a row with certain fine particles below a threshold. And if this happens, if you have a streak, then a smart contract is executed and some value is distributed to the contributors, to the land trusts, and everyone that improved the air quality in the selected area. Here on this slide, you can see the dashboard that we have created for the hackathon, and on the right side is the live metrics coming from the QVO sensors. On the left side is the information for 1 week. And here, based on the situation on the curve, you can see if there is a chance to get this streak. For example, if we can maintain certain threshold, certain level below 25 fine particles, which is the recommended level by the World Health Organizations and the European Union. So all these software components are up and running. They are deployed in the GitHub repository. So everything can be deployed in the QVO in a few weeks. And we'll be very happy also to collaborate with other teams, and the platform is organized in a very interoperable and extensible way. A lot of information about sensors and data and trees. So very open and very happy to collaborate. And as a next step, we plan to integrate Ocean Protocol for data tokens and to scale our solution. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Recheck. All right. We're going to move now to Centree, followed by Northeastern University. Centree, go ahead and take it away.
Hey guys. Hey, thank you, Seth. I'm Sean. This is Darren, and this is Centree. Let me present here. Yeah, so the challenge today is that we have a crisis of value that's rooted in a crisis of perception. So currently, forests are only seen for their value as timber, and this destroys all these other values that are not currently being accounted for, such as the carbon value, which alone is greater than the value of timber, but there's all kinds of other values, including the just inherent intrinsic value of these forests as sovereign nature. So we are really focused on accounting for these other types of value and creating tokens that represent these forests as NFTs, and then basically mapping the value to these tokens, which allows investors to donate money that will be going towards land stewardship. So we're basically creating an economic alternative to the current extractive economics. Centree is fundamentally a tokenized framework for conserving and regenerating old growth forests. So it's engineered for three principles: sustainable growth of the Centree token, the accumulation of protected old growth forests, and to become a resource sharing platform for land stewards, artists, and regenerative enterprise systems that can be rolled out across the world. So at the center of the platform, we have a treasury that allows the minting of Centree tokens. As Centree tokens are minted, the treasury continues to accumulate assets. Centree holders, anyone in the world can submit conservation projects, which would be suggested old growth forests to protect. And Centree holders can use their tokens to tribute. It's essentially voting. They contribute their Centree tokens to particular old growth forest units. In that case, when a threshold is met, the old growth forest unit will be conserved and assets from the treasury will be moved into that unit to mobilize the protection, fund the land stewards, and encourage alternative enterprise to logging. NFT holders of these the old growth forest NFTs can bond their NFTs to the treasury. And so the treasury continues to accumulate these NFTs representing the protection. The NFTs themselves are meant to be these metaverse assets, which can coexist with other protection NFTs, like living NFTs representing grizzly bears, trees, all sorts of things. And the climax of this framework is to offer a sort of franchise model for regenerative industry that can thrive in old growth forest domains.
Yep, so this is a walkthrough of our live web application that we built specifically for this hackathon. So it's a fork of the TreeDAO web app, which is an inspiration for our project. And it's we have smart contracts that are deployed on the Polygon testnet. And so what this allows you to do is buy Centree tokens, use those tokens to vote on a conservation project. And that will then create a fractional NFT, which goes to the voters. That NFT can be bonded to the treasury, and that gives back Centree tokens. And those Centree tokens can then be staked to earn an interest. And also we have a platform for local land stewards to create vouchers and community currencies, which support regenerative business models.
And we have been working already with artists on the ground, and this is a real rendering of Big Doug on the front lines of protected old growth forests today. And thank you. Find more links and resources in our presentation.
Thank you.
Looking forward to collaborating with all these other projects. So such good, awesome work, guys.
Yeah, it's great to meet Big Doug there at the end. A surprising last-minute introduction that was tantalizing, really exciting. Thank you, Centree. Okay, we're going to move now to Northeastern University, followed by Green Deeds. Take it away, Northeastern. If you're speaking, you may be muted.
Anisha, you want to start? You're there. Hold on.
Yeah, no problem, Bennett.
Let's see. All right. Well, I don't know if she's on or not, but oh, hold on. Oh, I guess we just can't hear her talking. I'll just take it away.
A muting problem. Okay, yeah. If you're able to,
Yeah,
that would be great. If you can rejoin us at some point, your collaborator, please jump in. But yeah, thanks for taking it.
Yeah, or do you want to come back to us in a second? Is that okay?
I'm happy to come back to you guys if you're having a little technical problem. No problem there at all. If we could have, let's go to Green Deeds next, and we'll come back to Northeastern. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
You may be muted as well, Green Deeds.
Can you hear me?
Now we got you.
All right, sorry about that, everybody. So my name is Anthony Dutra, and I'm working on this with Casper, and this is Green Deeds. Today, the world has a major waste problem. The US alone wastes 21.5 million tons of food per year. That's about 2 million cars going on the road and spewing greenhouse gases into the earth. Our project is looking for a way to reduce the massive amounts of waste piling up in the landfills and get people conscious as well as proactive in disposing their food waste in a more sanitary manner. So our solution is Green Deeds. Like before, it's basically doing a task that is a green deed. More specifically, in this case, we've looked at how food and composting can affect soil and how to maybe go about fixing that, incentivizing users in some respect to then drop off those food scraps to a local site like Nashville and improve the soil quality. So what we're doing is now kind of mapping a user or a person to a specific maybe pile and rewarding them based on the metrics associated, health metrics associated with that pile and what that kind of compost pile is doing to create a better and cleaner environment. We're also visualizing to sort of, again, promote that cleaner planet. This is the tech stack. So what I did during the hackathon was create a machine learning algorithm that we minted on Ocean Protocol for people to use, for like disability use in order to check the health or classify the health of that pile based off some of the metrics that we gained and learned from their collection process. You can also see the algorithm for use on Ocean Protocol for download and purchase. I just made it €3 because in order for them to get a sample, it costs €10 to get that data in. So I kind of wanted to make something cheaper, an algorithm cheaper that supports this tool that we built in order to show the health of the compost pile that a person is responsible for. We're going to super quick go through the Figma demo from Casper.
Yes, so for our Figma demo, let me share my screen. Yes. So for the Figma demo, we were focusing on developing a specific user flow that is focusing on the composting process. So what personally what I was trying to do is to focus on encouraging users to learn more about the composting process that they're participating in and how the said composting process can how the data that relates to the to four main aspects but parts that relate to a better quality compost that could be used. This information could be used for users to get a better understanding for what is the product that they're developing together as a community, and for future they can relate back to this information to get better results with the products that they're bringing to the composting sites or to these communal composting bins, such for example as ready as one that exists in the cerebral space. To really get a better understanding of how the whole prototype works, there's a link available in the Miro board of our in our Momentum space in the metaverse, and we can also share the link with anyone who would like to explore more or to even get a better idea of what we want to do with this project.
Thank you, Green Deeds, and just wanted to sort of especially shout out the last two teams, both of whom were here with us at our last hackathon. It's amazing to see how your ideas are deepening and growing and evolving since our last hackathon. Thank you for returning and building on what you started. Okay, we're going to see if we have Northeastern University on the line. Are we ready to go?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
cool.
awesome.
We're ready. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, everyone. We are the Northeastern University team, and today we're going to be presenting Forest Friends. So as you all know, Earth's decreasing biodiversity is a global problem, and more funding for restoration is definitely needed. However, as an average person, it's really difficult to engage with endangered animals. For example, I can donate to a conservation team or an organization, and that's cool. But after doing that, there's no easy way for me to see the impact that my money has made, or even engage with the animals that I restored. So that's the first major problem we wanted to tackle. The second one is that animals that are restored usually have sensitive data in centralized servers. And this is mostly for research purposes. However, they can be misused by poachers and illegal collectors, which is obviously really bad for these animals. So our solution was Forest Friends, and this is a platform where users can help restore endangered species and engage with them in the metaverse, all while providing valuable data to approved researchers and conservationists in a secure manner.
So we'll be using Tilt protocol to credential conservation team members. Once credentialed, conservation members have access to launch NFT projects with animals they want to bring exposure to and need funding to help save. For example, the olive ridley turtle NFT, these turtles are considered to be endangered because there are few remaining nesting sites in the world. The user can now donate to mint random NFTs from the collections uploaded by credentialed teams. The donation is used for restoration efforts and funds better equipment for researchers to keep track of the animals' locations and health. The user is now able to interact with their unique collection of animals saved, and we'll be using dynamic NFTs that will change the location based on the Icarus tracker. In the long term, we will launch a metaverse for you to keep track of your saved animals in a sanctuary and also visit other people's animals in sanctuaries. And once they've collected over time, the metaverse will help build education on different species of animals that are becoming endangered, allow you to collab and meet new friends, and learn more ways about how you contribute to helping save these animals. Also, in the long term, researchers will be able to get credentialed through Kilt to use NFT metrics to create new studies and start to decentralize this data. An Icarus tracker can collect data such as location, speed that the animal is traveling, body temperature, and collect weather data. With this initiative, researchers will have access to clean data that helps studying the behavior patterns and conditions that they need to thrive. So thanks again. Here's some of our links.
Thank you so much, Northeastern team. We celebrate your initiative, boldness, and thank you for that presentation. Okay, we have 5 teams remaining. Okay, it's the home stretch. We're going to go to X Initiative with Basin DAO after them. So X Initiative, take it away.
Hey, can everyone hear me?
We got you.
I actually circled back just because I'm having screen preference.
Yeah.
It's the new computer, so I have to restart Zoom and restart. Can we go to the next one and I come back?
No problem. Yeah, Stevie, not a problem. Okay, let's go to Basin DAO and we'll come back.
Yeah. Great. Well, my name is Will. I'm from Basin DAO. It's great to be here. Thanks to all the sponsors. I'm going to play a video from Timo. That's timed for the 4 minutes, so that'll help. But there's more information on YouTube at Basin DAO to see the video again and everything.
Great.
Nature is perpetual or evergreen, no pun intended. So how do you fund that in perpetuity? Do projects that support humans and nature, regenerative projects with regenerative finance. And what Basin came up with is Sitecoin. And Sitecoin is basically...
I think your audio is muted now, Will, from my point of view at least.
Oh, sorry.
Different Web3 refi problem as a twofold problem. One, the lease is short term, only 2 years left, but how do you fund something for the long term? Nature is perpetual. or evergreen, no pun intended. So how do you fund that in perpetuity? Do projects that support humans and nature, regenerative projects with regenerative finance. And what Basin team up with is Sitecoin. And Sitecoin is basically a property level NFT that's user generated by different data sets and has some different Web3 refi mechanisms in it to perpetually fund regenerative projects at the site. Real simple. Basically, you have the site, TreeDAO, the piece of property, what happens on the property, and it produces data, whether that be Internet of Things, sensors, soil, MRV, measurement, reporting, verification, you name it. The site produces data, people produce data, and then the data is incentivized in different ways, and that incentive mechanism funds the regeneration and funds the perpetual stewardship of the property. So we did a little test. We looked at Flickr's API, but we could do this with Snapchat or Instagram or Yelp. Basically, these dots show nature, art, water, which kind of shows the overlap, and you start to see different trends. In Dukeval, you could actually start to do marketing campaigns around different words like biodiversity or ecosystems or cafe and draw people in. But basically, this is like GIS, geolocation, overlaying different keywords from people, mentions, pictures on map data. And then you could actually put that into a knowledge graph. This is a shared knowledge graph. Basically, you could incentivize people to add their data. You can gather public data, but you can also incentivize users to input their data and create graphs like this. And then the graphs can be uploaded to different data oracles like Ocean or some of the new ones that are coming online. But one other thing we looked at is like eco credits and creating carbon credits, biodiversity credits, natural capital credits, social impact credits with MRV. Right? Basically measuring the baseline, seeing what change occurs over time. And then all that data from either GIS, geolocation, people, crowd, MRV, site specific, whatever can be uploaded to data. It can then be staked, and then liquidity can be provided to that data. And then Sitecoin can be minted, and then part of the funding mint would get put in Angel Protocol or endowment. Endowment is DAO instead of DOW, but those are perpetual funding refi mechanisms. And by creating the principal perpetual permanent evergreen endowment fund, it could actually drive the funds back to the property, and users are incentivized to upload data, mint the eco credits, mint the Sitecoin, and so the cycle continues with MRV on the ground, and then the funding comes back to the project, to the site. And here's just some examples of the positive outcomes that could be created. Will came up with floating wetlands, which obviously creates habitat, urban biodiversity, and creates sanctuary, but not just for nature and animals, but also for people. And of course, any good Web3 refi project wouldn't be complete without some good memes. I'll leave you with that. But on behalf of Basin DAO, thank you so much for letting us participate. I'm excited to see all the rest of the other entries. Thank you very much, and keep on rocking. This is super important work, and we're proud to be a part of it. And thanks for leading the charge.
Thank you. We will take the order to keep on rocking very seriously and attempt to do so. Thank you very much. And I think we can go to X Initiative next. If you're ready, X Initiative, or do you need a little more time?
I think I should be good to go.
Great. Go for it.
Awesome. Hey, so yeah, we were working this weekend. It was with WeVic, which is a development house in Web 3.0. So we're based in Kitchener-Waterloo, along with Unless Design Partners, also based in Kitchener-Waterloo, which is in Canada. As a team, we've worked not only on Web3 stuff and NFTs and crowdfunding and equity to DAOs and all that jazz, but Unless has worked really closely with the region of Waterloo and their 30-year sustainability plan, and how we are approaching this, and how Unless approached it in the region of Waterloo is really local initiatives is what is going to drive a lot of individual change over the coming years. And that's what we really wanted to focus on in our project, in our presentation. So with that in mind, I believe, so we came up with a platform that is a mix of adventures, tasks, and badges that incentivize green behavior. So the way it works is that a user creates, or a citizen creates, an ID in a wallet. They're given a green carbon quota. We use carbon just because language is the easiest barrier right now. And they're assigned tasks every single day or every month. And these tasks give them, allow them to earn a small level of carbon credits, as well as earn eco dollars, which is an in-currency platform. The tasks include things like, active transportation, composting, walking or hiking and enjoying nature, planting native species, letting things overgrow, sourcing local food. And this was part of the inspiration for the Solva region, where we know we have volunteers participating. We have no people are enjoying the space. How can we kind of tie that together and then apply it to our own region? Because this type of thing is very region specific. The thing that we kind of wanted to add on was like, okay, well, these task things have been done before. We've seen lists like this. We've seen games and incentive programs. And the truth is they don't always work, partly because I don't think necessarily they're fun. And I think that's what we kind of decided was we're going to bring this collaborative art approach. So the idea is that as you go through, as you move through your tasks, your day, or you explore nature, explore your day, you actually are working with a generative AI that creates patterns, shapes, and colors and patterns from the path you explore. This is a real simple Google Maps API, as well as some open source plant scanning softwares, because the idea is that like using GPS, time of day, temperature, as well in theory, if you had sensors for air or soil or vibration, everywhere you go as you complete your tasks, you could essentially collect elements from the spaces around you. And if you wanted to scan a tree, like we took the sycamore tree, which is native to the Colva region, you would actually add that piece to your piece of art. Now, these aren't NFTs. These are actually just badges that are collected, but it adds a fun little kind of concept of shareability online. We even thought about having maybe the trees that you create. There's several accounts that maybe are tied to Twitter, or rivers that are tied to Twitter, and talk about community engagement and what that looks like, and actually giving nature a voice, not only in creating the art, but as well as the ongoing engagement of it. But what we really wanted to focus on, and I know I got about a minute left, I think, was this idea of actually minting NFTs through the Ocean protocol with the eco dollars you store. So as you complete tasks, as you go through your day, as you explore nature, yes, you're correct, collecting the badges and all that stuff, and that's fun for you. But we actually will assign a threshold that allows you to mint an NFT that is tied to the real world. So with partner organizations, from things like planting community gardens, reforestation, or ocean cleanup, the idea would be you would actually you would take your eco dollars, exchange it through something like your region, the region of the city, or the province or the country, who says, yes, if you give us 20,000 eco dollars, we will work with X organization and plant a tree in real life. Your NFT is actually tied directly to that tree, or your NFT is tied directly to that green project. And now you're taking the credit, that green carbon credit from that project, and you're using it towards your quota every single month. And it's reoccurring. And the idea is that the economics is pretty simple. Is one, we know we can go to employees and insurance companies for getting people into nature. It's preventative care, it's downstream. Two, there's actually a tax credit system. Yes, I'm about to wrap up. A tax credit system that you could, in theory, sell. You can incentivize citizens through a tax credit system at municipal, regional, or national levels. And the governments are going to need to start paying for this. They are going to have to start thinking about their carbon footprint. We're going to see it come in a lot of different places. And then in theory, those people that are working as volunteers or overproducing credits could actually sell their credits on a secondary market to another person for cash. And that was part of how we thought about how the people at Dixcolva will be able to make money, and those that are giving time. And if you have any questions, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm Stevie Trim. Thank you, Glenn and Patrick, Naomi, and Bogdana. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Stevie. All right, 3 more. Sustayn.Earth we'll go to next, and then EntDAO, and we'll end with Public Land Protocol. Okay, Sustayn.Earth.
Perfect. Okay. Just share screen. Okay, it's just asking me for permission to share the screen. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no
do you want to jump forward to somebody else while this?
Yeah, Joe, no problem. Is it a Zoom problem? Because we can.
No, it's system preferences wants to.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. We'll come back to you next. We'll go to EntDAO now. we have a rep from EntDAO ready to jump in?
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
I can just share this. Yeah.
We got it.
Hello, this is EntDAO. Since before the hackathon, actually, we've been having some ideas around giving voice and visibility to nature. At this point, it's not like everything is developed and we got a app or something, but this is our collaboration growth. We got this lack of empathy actually in general in the urban, in the nature, when we are in the nature even. And then there is this division between, hey, nature and cities are considered like not part of nature. We want to change that. And for that, we will create a DAO and a NFT membership by people. But in that DAO, there will exist trees identified with Kilt protocol and having already some like ant token or ant talk given to them. They're gonna be safe for them, treasure themselves, and they will be rewarding themselves. The purpose is here, how can we integrate that and people being responsible of those other livings in the voting process as well. So what they got from maybe Discord or in general, they got the roles of empathy, or by supporting those kinds or any kind, they will get that right to vote for them as well. But we hope that they will vote accordingly on carbon offsetting. And Murray have developed the visual part for representing the trees, and those trees gonna be collected memories where people can gift and mint artworks, their memories there, or like that data that community exposes. Murray, would you like to continue? Maybe we can hear you.
Yeah, I can present. So it's just a beta state, as I just developed that for a day. But the main goal is to put trees in the cities a voice. So it would work like kind of Pokemon Go, where people could just go around and see what's happening in real life in their phone. So a tree would have a card and would have some information from Kilt protocol. And after all, we could visualize what the tree is giving to people and to the other trees. So yeah, everything needs to be done now, but it was really nice to work on it. So do you want to get to the future plan or?
Yeah.
Torge? Go ahead.
For future and also now, we want to take this as a chance to move on, and Kilt protocol for identifying trees gonna be there, and people, community themselves be the attester of trees, and then data markets community is gonna have and expose from trees as well. So trees gonna be points of browsing and discovery, and yeah. And just lastly, I got some maybe artworks uploaded today to the EntDAO's GitHub based on interactions of communities, like number of person interaction, people interaction, and birds interaction, and squirrels. Just some random numbers gonna change music. I can record that too. Yeah, and we will continue. We will just connect this to disarmament and peace token that I'm also developing a project.
Great.
Yeah, they will coexist.
Thank you so much. We'll definitely check out those links. Our judges will be looking into those. And thank you so much, EntDAO. We've got 2 more teams.
Thanks.
Thank you. We're going to go next to Sustayn.Earth, if we can work out that, and then Public Land Protocol. And we're going to be running right up to our 2-hour mark, and then we'll just stick around for a few more minutes, a few announcements as we wrap up. Thank you for your sustained attention and enthusiasm, everybody here on the call, judges and participants alike. Okay, take it away, Sustayn.Earth.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. It's almost like synchronous that EntDAO just went before them, because one of our issues and problems was going to be how we represent non-human governance in the DAO model to ensure that the longevity of the project is always represented in the true form. And so I am very open to these synchronous events. So maybe my system preferences didn't want to work for a reason there. So that's really, really awesome, and another little collaboration that could be possible. So the problem that Sustayn is trying to solve is nature is not represented, stewarded, or funded relative to its true value. And I wanted to just give you a quick demo of the platform. It seems more intuitive than the slides. So we've set up a platform already that's kind of fully working and functional in Web 2. And the idea was to launch it fully on Web 2. And then I was encouraged by my team to really deep dive into Web 3. It's something I was involved in a while ago, but recently come back into. So there's just so many potentials to incorporate all of these incredible models that are coming through. One of the first things here is what we're looking at now is a cause. So this is the Global White Lion Protection Trust. So by coming onto one of these portal pages, you can actually choose to fund and support a specific cause by booking property when you go there. And something that popped up in the hackathon was One Earth and the collaboration potential there between One Earth, because they are already providing these verified, vetted list of causes, which we could really do with working with. I think that could be really, really nice. The other thing there that popped up was, how do we verify super small causes? So say there's somebody that's looking to count the number of otters in their garden. They're not going to be a registered charity. They're not going to be a registered NGO. So how can we verify and vet them, maybe through Kill Protocol, to say they are who they say they are? So the funding can go to that specific person transparently through smart contracts. So you click on book property to support cause. When you go through here, it tells you that you're supporting a cause, and you click through to a property. We wanted to change the idea that nature should be a secondary thought when you're booking a property as well. So we wanted to reconnect with the connection that hosts have with nature as well. So the first thing you see when you come to a property page is what the host's favorite thing is about nature. So this is Ed's idea of komarebi, which is, I think, Japanese phrase, so sunshine filtering through the trees. And that's just like a little instant reminder that, hey, like, this is why we're doing it. We're doing it to reconnect with nature. And even though we're in a digital format and we're booking a property in a digital way, are there any small connections that we can encourage when the hosts are onboarding or when the guests are looking for their properties? And as you see, it supports Global White Lion Trust. We also see there's potential here for hosts to encourage guests to basically act in more sustainable ways when they're traveling and arriving at these different properties. So there's different requests that hosts can ask guests to do. And this could be a really interesting point in terms of data sharing, because we'll have all of this incredible data about what people are doing for EV, like EV chargers, whether they've got solar panels, all of these amazing things on, at scale across all of these different properties that we could share. And hopefully there's some useful things there. We also thought the idea of creating this list that's visible on the blockchain in terms of what people are working on will provide this sort of message of hope that people are working on so many things across the world at scale that everybody can just see and breathe in and go, fuck, okay, it's okay. People are doing something. It's all right. Like, we've got something going on. So yeah, amenities there. If I jump back to the presentation quickly here, Web3. So we almost deconstructed the idea of having it just set up as Web 2. We want to work with ecosystem restoration camps. So the idea of a rewilding holiday, encouraging that and bringing that to the masses. We can have an economic incentive over Web 2 solutions. So there's no payment processor fee, for instance, which gives a reason for hosts to want to onboard to our service. So 10% versus 15% for Airbnb, Booking.com. There's tokenomics that can create value. We thought of this idea of a fair drop where our tokens could be attributed to the causes and then released in a vested period as it actually comes through. And these tokens, oh, okay, I'll stop there. I'll leave it just this slide for.
Finish your thought, Joe. I don't mean to cut you off.
Here's a slide of ideas that's just, we called it the dream shelf because I've come out with more questions than answers from this weekend, and it's really forced us to like deconstruct a lot. And actually it was a process of deconstruction rather than just pure construction. So thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I love the phrase. I love having a message of hope. That was really inspiring to hear that that's at the heart of this work that you're doing. All right, we've got one more group. We've got Public Land Protocol.
Hello, I'm Joe. Yeah, so this is like the first public appearance of Public Land Protocol in a way. So hello and welcome. Thanks for having us. And I'm gonna play a video. You'll hear my voice in a second here. Just let me know if it's not playing sound or anything like that.
Sure, we'll let you know.
Earth has been hurt by human hands, and human hands are needed now with a different calling. We cannot stop hurting Earth and walk away. We must find a new way forward. We are giving environmental entities a seat at the table, paying them for the work they've done and listening to them as we imagine their desired next steps. But how do you listen to nature? How does nature speak? How does nature then act to control herself and her new properties? We believe that a combination of stewards, volunteers, community leaders, stakeholders, and scientists can collectively listen to nature and imagine her will. We believe humans are needed to perform tasks that nature cannot do herself. We believe governance tokens can be used to indicate a community vision, and our rewards platform can dynamically adjust financial incentives to prioritize tasks according to the community and nature's vision. The Public Land Protocol will focus on gamifying restoration tasks through the Orgo app. By providing ease of access to tasks in need of completion, Orgo allows all Dequaveld visitors, residents, and businesses to quickly find pending assignments on the app. Volunteers who maintain the community through Orgo are incentivized to continue active participation through rewards, points, and badges based on completion of work. With Orgo, nature sovereignty is achieved by directing individuals to take steps which express nature's will and prioritize tasks for land restoration. We are taking a holistic approach by focusing on the combination of the following three areas: active community participation in the maintenance of the land, generating community collaboration and imagination, and hands-on learning and education. Through the use of Orgo, all three goals can be accomplished. We install QR codes on site that link visitors to the app, and then the app explains which tasks to do, how to do them, and how they benefit environmental processes. So the way that it works is that the steward completes a task and submits evidence to the community moderator. The community moderator is on the ground at Dequaveld, approves or denies completion of the task, and assigns a non-transferable credential to the user's DID on the Kilt blockchain, and also to the environmental entity's DID. Multiple verifiers can then issue rewards to the steward, including our native Orgo experience points, the Dequaveld DAO governance token, and a digital twin of the credential, which is a saleable NFT. Sponsors can purchase and collect NFTs to showcase their philanthropy. Here's a view of what the app might look like. Users and community managers can track their activity and rewards history in Euro. Badges are displayed and available to share to social media and build your resume. You can also participate in community votes and proposals and see active tasks displayed on the map. Higher point users compete to get higher up on the leaderboard. Yeah, so thank you. Big thank you to the people on our team, Katie, Chris, Jolly, Aaron, and Alex. And thank you to some of the other collaborators that stopped by to work with us. Wildlife, Paul from Kilt, EntDAO, IBMED, Green Deeds, Hyphal, and Basin DAO have all helped contribute to our thinking in some way. So thank you all, and we look forward to next steps of formatting data that the app creates, the metadata, and then the data collection results themselves and ways that others could use them, possibly selling them on Ocean or things like that. And then we're excited about the potential like alpha release in New York, where some of our team members live, how we could use it to start picking up trash here. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone. A huge round of applause. The snaps, the shouting, the stomping on the floor, whatever you do. Yes, make noise, make a celebratory noise for what we've done here. This is so incredibly inspiring. I hear the inspiration that you've given to each other. It's apparent in the chat. It's apparent in sort of the enthusiastic responses you've been giving. It's apparent, just as Joe said at the end there, and just acknowledging all of the ways that you already have inspired each other over the weekend and now continue to do so. I'm just going to ask for a few more minutes of your time, and with great appreciation for your sustained attention to one another's pitches. I know there's been so much also posted in the chat, and we may want to linger here for a little bit, make sure we collect information that we want to take away from this session today. But I do want to give a few quick announcements from the Sovereign Nature Initiative point of view. One, we will have a survey that we're going to post here that we'd really love for you to fill out, that will basically ask you all to reflect on this process this weekend, the metaverse, the overall process of the hackathon. We'd love your input and feedback, because we'd love to continue to do these competitions, these gatherings in the future, and your feedback would be really appreciated. Number two, as Alessandro just posted, stay in the metaverse. So your space in the metaverse, it's a living gallery space for your ideas. And many of you, of course, have posted your solutions, your videos, your links there. But please keep that active and continue. It really is a gift to us and to you to continue to use as a meeting space and a space for collaboration or gathering. So please do continue to keep those fires burning in that beautiful metaverse. And I would also add that this is a competition and this is a community. That metaverse is a place to gather and to meet and inspire and to keep building and to show off what you've done. Please also stay in the Discord community and remain. Let's keep that going as a place for these kinds of chats, these kinds of links, these kind of references, these meetings that we may want to have one-on-one. And of course, we have to announce the winners will be announced on Wednesday. So please do tune in again at 5 o'clock. Share with your colleagues, your friends and family. Let's make this also a celebration, and we'll gather at that time. I want to mention a couple more small things. One, our creative writing competition, Nature Speaks, is open, and would love to have your entry. We're asking creative writers to create works from the point of view of nature in written form. Some of you came to a salon last night that we had in the metaverse, which was pretty fun, where I gave some prompts and asked folks who came in who maybe didn't think of themselves as poets or creative writers before to create something, and you all wrote really amazing work. I'm going to hopefully host another creative writing workshop where you might be able to show up and try your hand at that and then enter into that competition. We will be minting NFTs out of the winners of that creative writing competition called Nature Speaks, and Caitlin put that in the chat as well. I want to thank so much our team from Sovereign Nature Initiative, for especially Caitlin, Paul, and most especially Alessandro for holding this thing together. Let's just please give him some love. Alessandro, we celebrate you. We appreciate you. Anything else from our team, from the judges, that you'd like to add?
Just want to say it was completely overwhelming. So impressed with these ideas, impressed with your enthusiasm and all the collaboration that took place. Very grateful that you're here working with us, alongside us, as we do some incredibly monumental things.
And maybe I can also add just that I think we only got to see now the pitch session. So we see these like cleaned, formalized versions of what we've been asking in 3 minutes. But I think that it was very obvious through the comments in the chat that there was so much more going on in this weekend on community building and collaboration. So I think that regardless of how these projects develop, and some will develop a lot and maybe others not, but I think that this exchanging thoughts and coming together and working together and getting just getting this team going, I think is the biggest achievement. So I'm really happy to see how kind and supportive everyone was with everyone. So I think that was really the most cheerful presentation I've ever seen. So really wonderful. I think that's the greatest takeaway from the weekend.
Some of you mentioned leaving with more questions than answers, and maybe that's a kind of note to wrap up on. I think I suspect many of you have left this session and the weekend with both answers and questions, and that spirit of inquiry and radical experimentation, I hope will just continue as we forge partnerships and keep working on these projects. But we'll see you Wednesday. We're going to let the judges go off and chat about what they heard, and let you all go off and round out your days and celebrate in your own fashion. I hope you'll go out and experience nature a little bit today, if you can, and make that contact that's so enriching and so important to being fully human. So thank you all for your pitches and for being here today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you.
Thank you, Seth, for being such an incredible MC and holding us and inspiring us and giving your words that speak to nature and all of us in this ecosystem. So thank you.
It's a pleasure
and
to help
SNI.
Facilitate. Yeah. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Soon. Ciao.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.